last night it was 10-2 and people weren't relining in. And I was like, oh, here's the, and they were like.
Some folks say try to give a break too, so put you back on the list for next year. Again,
I'll make it.
not an issue.
Okay.
Thanks kindly.
Here, I'll do.
Yeah, sure. I'm Mike McIntyre. I guess you would call me the coordinator of the Rideau Valley Art Festival. My job, as I see it, primarily is to make sure that the show is put on. The show really is all about the artists and all about the patrons of art who come to the show.
And this is the 30th. This is the 30th year.
This is the 30th. Uninterrupted. I know Buckhorn had their 30th, I think, either last year or the year before. So we've been going almost as long as they have. And this show was, to some extent, patterned after Buckhorn. I know some of the original people involved, Dr. Mendel McEwen, Bob Scott, and others actually went to Buckhorn and had a look around and then came back here and decided that the same kind of thing could be done. They proceeded over a period of time to do that. I guess just sort of I carried on from the really sound foundation that they put in place 30 years ago. Really good work.
That should do it. Thanks.
I got to go through there. To get to the lot to take me to Westport. Because this week I had a great big 20+ foot.
You're running late, Tamara. Yeah.
Go ahead.
So there we are.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi, yes, I'm Tamara Carlson, and I'm the coordinator for the Amateur Art Competition at the Rideau Valley Art Festival. And this year, I've been running it for 6 years now. And it ran for many years before I was part of the festival. The amateur artists are majority from the local area. We range in ages. We have 3 categories: adult, youth, and a child's category. And the work is of excellent quality. We often have many patrons who come through quite impressed with the amateur art and often make comments such as, gee, next year maybe this will be in the professional section because of the quality. And the artists who enter, those of them who win first, second, or third also win a cash prize, which is a great incentive to participate in the competition.
And you've had a number of the entrants who have gone on, as you said, to further their interest in art. And I'm thinking the person immediately to our right here, or your left, is an example of that.
That's right. So Kizzy Spielman-Rose is an amateur artist still, who is now working to become a professional artist. He is attending NASCAD, and this is his 2nd year entering the competition, and he has won first prize, which will the $275 as a cash prize, and he's entered 3 works. Each artist is allowed to enter up to 3 works, and we've had a lot of the public come through and are very impressed with Tizzy as well as many of the other artists. So with the 30th anniversary, we've had a great turnout. Yesterday, Mr. Kierstead was in as well to speak to the public and show some of his work, and that was a great draw for the festival. And I think that it's also, as well as the professional artists, it was great for the amateur artists who were coming through to have a chance to speak to him and talk to him about some of their techniques, and interested in how he gained such a stellar career himself.
That's great. Thanks a lot, Tamara.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Artists always felt quite pampered here because the boards were set up and we were indoors, and they used to feed us spaghetti suppers on Saturday. So it was a good show to be in those years. I think now it takes a little more perseverance. Our crowds are thinner, and I think the dollar goes perhaps a little less far than it did, and it's hard to say. But some of us still love this show, and we keep plowing on. Yeah.
Are there any memorable moments, or possibly comic moments, in your time here?
Many. I can still remember when there was a flood, because this, after all, is an arena.
Yes.
And all the paintings that were on the floor, such as these, got absolutely drenched. We came back the next morning, and all the masks were waving. It was quite a disaster for some of us, especially watercolor painters. And then another year, it seems to me they tried to put up some kind of air conditioning system, and it was so loud that the clients couldn't hear themselves think.
You just see the lips move, but they couldn't understand what you were saying.
Absolutely, and that was a little bit of a disaster. So we've had our ups and downs, but I think it's been, some of us, it's now become a labor of love, and I guess we wouldn't miss it if we really have to come. It's just part of our lives.
It's like a family reunion.
Exactly. And you meet up with the same artists across the aisle, and they become almost like family too.
It's like same time next year.
Absolutely.
Like
You've
the
hit
play.
the nail on the head. So these are a few memories from an old timer.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
On silk. So I start off with basically white silk. It's stretched on stretcher bars, and then I paint on it with French dyes. I also use other different media to paint on the silk, and then it's steam set, which sets the color. It's steam set in a huge professional steamer, and then when it comes out of the steamer, it's actually rinsed, and then it's ironed, and after that it goes to the framer. And then you have the work. My work is all professionally done. It's all got UV glass on it, and it's got acid-free matting and acid-free backing, and it's all taped up.
Wow. So there's a long process leading to the image.
It's a very long process, and I believe that's why not too many people paint on silk.
Yes.
It's a lot more work than doing it the other way.
It's very tricky.
I really enjoy doing it.
It reminds me of Stephanie and all the things that go into her art quilts, and they, you know, there's quite a process involved
Yes, it
too.
is, yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
As a result of my fondness for the region, I do paint what you might see in this show. A lot of canoeists, kayakers, a piece of the rock, as I call it, Canadian Shield at its finest, with people enjoying it, and I hope I've portrayed it as well as it looks in real life. And also I do a lot of traveling outside of Westport, and the traveling includes, with my wife, places of more exotic places in Europe, and perhaps one I could cite would be the Alaska cruise and wine cruise, which I was the artist in residence on a cruise ship.
Wow.
Pretty all that good weather, so it's
Who quilted it?
Our treasurer, Marilyn Crawford.
Would you have a name and phone number? I'd like to have a quilt made.